AEH Accounting, Spartan Brews Coffee Company, and of course, NooWave, who are bringing us Flow-State-Coffee. Now, let me tell you, this coming Saturday, December 19th, it's hard to believe this year is almost over. We've got another rock show. It's been a while since we've had a rock show on HelloooTV, and we're so fortunate and lucky and grateful to have Static Cycle on HelloooTV. So what do you say? Let's get Jared Navarre from Static Cycle in here for Hello Hangs. Let's get it. Hello, Jared. Mr. Jared
Yes,
Navarre from Static Cycle. How are you doing, man?
wonderful. Welcome to my home. My luscious green wall behind us.
I have to ask, is it real or is it not real?
Oh, it's fake as fuck. But
Ah,
uh,
fooled
you
me.
know, it makes me feel like I'm outside a bit.
Yeah. What room in the house is that?
Living room, conversation room. I don't know.
I
There's a
like
bunch
it.
of shit in this room. That's what
I
this
like it.
room is. Yeah.
So you're in Nashville right now, is that correct?
Yep.
All right.
I've been
I
back
know
and forth between here and Alaska, but
I
I'm
have
here
to I
now.
have to ask. I know it's kind of cliche and trite perhaps because you get asked this a lot in interviews. But Alaska, for a lot of Americans, is truly the last frontier because it's not so easy to get there. It's just a lot
Yeah.
farther. And I'm really curious about your journey of musical discovery, both as an avid music fan and as a music lover, but also as a performer, and then obviously the seeds of Static Cycle. So, at what point were you introduced to rock music in Alaska?
So Alaska, especially growing up, was culturally probably, and musically, maybe 5 years behind in a lot of ways, right? We were our own little country, really. We were our own little music culture, and that was good and bad. You could explore and blend genres a lot more. There wasn't boundaries or clicks, musical clicks, until I got, you know, older into high school and stuff like that. But
Right.
all of my music was hand-me-downs. So it was all older brother, older sister CDs, stuff like that. We only had 5 television stations, so I didn't get much media and radio. There was one station out there that played rock, and so it was this crazy blend of my parents' old school classic rock, my older brother and sister pop, rock, R&B, all that, and I was introduced to guitar. I sang my whole life, but I was introduced to the guitar when I was
Okay.
16 and wrote my first song that day and made a band the next week and didn't stop. I haven't stopped since.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Were
Yeah,
you able
Alaska
to
has.
find were you able to find like-minded people to start a band? Just because there's not a whole lot of people up there, right?
I mean, it's high school, so it was, you know, a couple of my best friends at the time. One of them grabbed a bass. One of them had always, honestly, just drummed on the bus seats, and we convinced his parents to get him a drum set. Uh, and another buddy was already pretty classically trained in guitar, so he started playing lead. So that was how it originally formed, and uh, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing, but we wrote a couple good songs, and I was already just enamored with music. And we just played for hours and hours and hours for weeks on end, and that turned into months, and that band, kept going for years. And then you get to a point in Alaska where, you know, we are isolated. It's it's more of an island in its own separate country than it is connected to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Static Cycle formed. We played, I think, like 2 shows in Alaska, and then we left and started touring. I mean, it was
Oh
quick.
my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, you guys have had a very busy year. Considering that nobody's been touring, you guys have released, I just want to make sure I have this right, 6 singles and an acoustic EP that was Wolf and Boxes kind of put together and
Yeah, yeah.
reimagined and made very beautiful. Was that always the plan for 2020, or was it kind of a makeshift plan considering the pandemic and everything?
We had way more planned. So we would have had the full record out 2 months ago, we would have played, 75, maybe 100 shows by this point. We also had this crazy big immersive show, which, Hello TV captured a portion of that show, but
Yeah.
we had dates booked for this crazy immersive experience that we built, that I've been building honestly for like 5 years. I'm sure we'll talk about, but it would have been a completely different year for us. Honestly, this year has just been throw out singles, talk with people over the internet. We got to
Yeah.
play one show, that's it. And yeah, wait.
I'd say you made the most of it. That's pretty good. And that's a great segue. So Static Cycle is playing on Hello TV on Saturday night, December 19th. We're very much looking
Yes.
forward to it. So be sure to mark your calendars with that. I did want to ask, something that a phrase that I kept coming across when I was digging deep into research about Static Cycle was this idea of genre shifting, right?
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean by that? I think I have an idea, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Well, so we played I can't remember what the year is, but we played 100 or 150, almost 200 shows in a year, and we were out with really big bands, Drowning Pool, Pop Evil, Saliva. We played with Papa Roach, Seether, like a lot of these really big established bands. And what I saw, being a rock fan, was that the genre itself was becoming stagnant. That same year, tons and tons of active rock stations closed. Obviously, active rock has kind of turned into this niche and subgenre. It's not part of mainstream culture anymore, and so that set me on this course. I started writing this new record, and also started building out this new live experience. And what that means is I think it's the next iteration of a live hard rock experience. So we have it's a blend between Cirque du Soleil, a full-on Broadway show. It has a plot and narrative that continues and flows throughout. It has a bunch of external actors and actresses. Someone has even described it as like a modern hard rock Hamilton. It's
Okay.
it's quite a production. We're
Yeah.
pumping in scent into the building. We're dropping snow on the audience. So the music caters to that, especially the full record.
Right.
So genre blending means, obviously most artists are doing this anyways, but we're stealing elements from pop, from R&B, from hip hop, uh, sonically, vocally, lyrically. We're not stuck in the hard active rock lane.
Yeah. I give you guys a lot of credit for that because this is essentially the second act of the band in a lot of ways, right? I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
had when the band formed and kind of had the success of those really great records kind of 10, 12 years ago. And then my understanding is at that point you moved to Nashville and there was just kind of a shift. And now we're, as fans,
yep.
we're reaping the rewards of that. Can you speak a little bit to kind of how you view that previous act of the band and how that reflects in what y'all are doing right now, both in terms of your live show and as you're kind of building out your catalog?
Yeah, I would say the difference is, then we're, the teenage babies that have no idea what exists in this world of rock. And
Yeah.
you leave Alaska, we had our first single did really well on radio, and we're in Alaska. Our first actual show, we had 520 people show up to it. So we had this, these illusions of grandeur, and we were a big fish in a small pond. And uh, you know, when we left Alaska, we started to learn the reality of the music industry. It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly tough. We had to be better songwriters, better musicians. I had to be a better vocalist, and it's almost like a amateur athlete hitting the pros. And we learned everything. So I've transformed myself. Being in Nashville year round, and write with the best songwriters in the world, best musicians in the world. Uh, Everyone on the touring side is 10 levels up, and so it's really like I feel like I was just going to school. I feel like I had to get a doctorate in the music industry, and learn how to build a new show and experience all that stuff. So that's this next act. Is it feels like uh, this is true selves, true artistry, better, more real music, and obviously the show.
Sure. And is there an attempt to kind of be distant from that? Because I noticed that it seemed like that music was available and now it's not as easily readily available on streaming services and stuff like that. Is it really an attempt
Yeah,
at kind of a clean break, or what is the rationale with that?
yeah. We almost really this is it's a whole new band, and so we almost did a full new name and brand, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
really that was a business decision that was made by team management, marketing and label services, everybody together said,
Yeah.
like, let's make all this old music available. Fans can still get it. We give them direct links. It's on SoundCloud. We give them MP3s, whatever they want. But we stripped it because of this show experience. Is it really is, um, everything is intertwined. The record itself is so tightly joined with the show that the old discography didn't make sense in context. Um, Ironically, the pandemic hit and it made all of that semi irrelevant, is the truth, because
Yeah.
now we're just a rock band with music. But the plan initially was, we're coming out of the gates, we're going to expose everybody to this different show, this different music. All this is this one cohesive package, reinventing ourselves. So
Yeah, I give you
that
guys
was
a
the
lot of
plan.
credit for that. I give you guys a lot of credit. And I would say as a fan, I don't think you've tipped your hand just yet because I don't
Yeah,
know what to expect from you. I've heard the songs, the singles are great, but
thanks.
in terms of what I could expect if I saw you at a venue, I don't really know what to expect yet. But I hope to get a nice little tease on Saturday night on Hello TV on, I wanted to say July 19th, December 19th. This pandemic has worked wonders on my calendar brain. But what can viewers expect if they tune in to the show? Why should they tune in and see Static Cycle on Saturday night?
Man, this is the first time that, we're able to play this new music. We brought in some of our crazy set pieces. You'll obviously see the energy. Now, this is not the full immersive show, but you said it's a teaser. It really is a taste. You'll get to see, uh, the music is very similar, obviously.
Right.
We produce it a little different in the full immersive crazy ass show, but um, we we're ready to just go crazy on Saturday, is the truth.
Hell yeah.
It's
That's
been, too long. We finally had some rehearsals. We were able to, give ourselves whiplash playing through these. So it's just time. People will get a taste. They'll know where we're going with it. But
Yeah. It's almost as if Saturday night on Hello TV, Static Cycle, it's kind of like the shrimp cocktail. And then
there you go. There you
once you're
go.
able to tour again, we can enjoy the feast together.
Yes, yes, yes. There you go.
All right. Well, where can people find you now, both in terms of what you're doing as Jared Navarre and what y'all are doing as Static Cycle?
You / Static Cycle everywhere, all streaming platforms, all that stuff. I don't care if people find me. Just, search the band. That's where all the music is. That's where all the content is.
Yeah.
That's where this new live experience is going to be. All of it. So, uh, fuck personal branding and building my own brand. Just go check out the band and the brand.
I love that about you guys. You kept the name, you've kept it real, and hey, it's not an easy thing. It's almost like walking an extra mile, because as opposed to starting fresh, it's like you're asking people to double down and reinvest in the same way that you and your bandmates have. So I give you a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and it's kind of confusing for people until we can tell them exactly what's going on. Because even in these interviews, people hear me and talk to me, and they're like, "Okay, so tell us about this show. What is it? What is it?" And we've shot a preview of the show, which we haven't shown anyone yet because, we what are we going to hype it for a year and a half? Nobody knows when the fuck we can do it. So,
Yeah.
um, so it is like people are having to be patient. We're giving them these little teasers and nuggets, and we talk about it in this. But honestly, between the tech and the storylines, and the production and music that's behind it, people just aren't going to get it until they're there live. And um, but it's unlike anything that's I think ever been done in music. That's what the goal was from the beginning.
That's awesome. I think we should have a moment of silence, a preemptive moment of silence for all of the bands that are going to have to follow Static Cycle
That's right.
once you're able to do this.
That's right.
So let's have a 3-minute moment of silence. Let's have a 3-second moment of silence for all the poor souls that are going to have to follow
Yes.
Static Cycle. All right. Fuck them. Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck
They
'em.
all died.
Fuck
Yep.
'em.
They had a chance, honestly. You know, it's
Yeah.
funny, in the pandemic hit, I've sat here and I'm like, man, we worked on this. Genuinely, it's like almost 5 years on the dot. And I'm sitting back going, somebody better not beat us to this. Like, because it would fucking piss me off, because this pandemic has given everybody like this leeway of like, oh, we got another 10 months. We're sitting around. We can, you know, all the crews and stuff are sitting around, so everybody can sit around a table and reimagine, you know, their show and all this stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah, lots of brainstorming going
fuckers better
on,
not catch us.
lots of perpendicular creativity on teams and stuff. And it's been interesting. I mean, that's why HelloooTV exists. You know, this is a pivot for
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
us who are tour managers or artists or front of
Mm-hmm.
house. Paris is a videographer, as you know. So, yeah, everybody's pivoting. But, yeah. All right, well, you heard it here. If they take your idea, they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
All right, the show is Saturday night, December 19th, Static Cycle on HelloooTV. Go to HelloOOTV.com for more information. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all of the socials as I knock all my shit over. And the same for Static Cycle. You'll be able to get the show. It's going to be awesome. That's HelloooTV.com. All right, thanks, Jared. It was a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Pleasure to you, man.
Meet with you. And I'll see you Saturday night.
Yes.
Peace. Be sure to head to HelloooTV.com. That's HelloooTV.com to get all the information you need about Static Cycle's show on HelloooTV this coming Saturday night, December 19th. You will not want to miss it. Thanks again to our sponsors, AEH Accounting, NooWave, who are bringing us Flow-State-Coffee, Spartan Brews Coffee Company, and of course, Audio-Technica USA. On behalf of Jeff and everyone at HelloooTV, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the Static Cycle concert on HelloooTV on Saturday night. Peace.